Evening, guys. Hope everybody had a good day. I'm gonna start off today by thanking Yusuf. Had a great little podcast today. Thank you so much for that. Reminisced a little bit. It was an hour and a half. It was a long time. Talking about the good old days and training and trials and tribulations. You know, I take for granted what we used to do, and being able to look back and remembering the little things that I'd forgotten. It was a lot of fun. Being an athlete for so long, I'm telling you, if you have the opportunity for the younger athletes out there, as I told Colin, when I retired, it's like, don't retire. Best times of our lives. When you retire, it's hard to adjust to the real world. Anyway, so thanks for that. Thanks for taking me down memory lane. And it's also good to talk about real training. I know we've talked about the things that we need to do just for health, well-being, wellness, but we can get into some pretty serious training stuff as well, which we will. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to split this up because most people won't be able to do the type of training you need to be an athlete. And that was a really interesting conversation. I had this with Max as well, not too long ago, is you don't realize how hard you work and what it takes. And Yusuf was just missed out on making the Olympic team. And anybody who's been to Olympic trials knows how devastating that is and how hard you work. You work 10 years to get to the Olympic trials, and then you miss out by, 1/10 of a second or whatever. And it just shows how hard the other guys are working. And I always say there's 4 levels of achievement, success, whatever you want to call it. And we'll touch on this down the road, but basically you have the Olympians, which are phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. They put a lot of hours into just making it. And then there's the ones that make it out of the first round, because most Olympians, and like I said, I'm not putting them down. It's a lot of work to get there, but most run one race and then they're partying in the Olympic Village. It's not a bad thing. That's probably the best party on the planet. And then there's the ones that make it to the final, which is, again, that's 10x for somebody who's made the Olympic team or made it past the first round. And from there's the ones that make it onto the podium. And you can't differentiate the 3. It's on the day, especially when you're talking about sprints and hundreds of seconds. So I never say like the difference between a gold, silver, and bronze, because it could be numerous things that is a difference between those 3. So just getting on there is, like I said, 10x from just even making the final. So I digress. A couple of questions. Speaking of athletic performance, there was one. Adam sent me a message saying, how to get stronger, put on muscle mass. And as an athlete, we actually didn't concern ourselves or worry about that. This a great conversation again with Yusuf. I think my philosophy in training is all of these athletes, when they finish their training, they go into a strength and conditioning program. And you go to a gym, a lot of personal trainers, they'll say, well, here, we're going to put you on a strength and conditioning program. Now, anybody who knows me knows I'm an asshole, but other than that, I always think backwards. And it's like, that doesn't make sense to me because most people aren't successful, so I'm not going to do what most people do. That's what I was like when I ran hurdles. I looked here in Canada and there were no Olympic gold medals. 60 years, no Olympic gold medals. So I'm like, well, why do I want to do what these guys are doing up here? So I went down to the States where the best hurdlers in the world were at the time, and I just asked them. I'm like, what do you guys do? I want to do what you guys do. And that took me from being nowhere in the world to number 5 within 1 year of just doing what they did. So don't follow the crowds. As I said, I'm not a shepherd, and you're not my sheep. You guys are the shepherds of your own health. So you have to look at things differently and wonder, like, why is health and fitness and obesity. Like, why is everything going down? Obesity is going up, but health and fitness is going down. With all of these, gyms and weight loss programs and diets and all these things coming up, but everybody's getting worse. It just doesn't make sense. So when I train athletes, it's conditioning and strength, not strength and conditioning. Because in order to get strong, you need to be in shape. You can't, if you're in really good shape, lifting weights is easy. If you're lifting weights, and trust me, I used to take athletes and personal trainers through programs, and I do 5 a day. We finish one program, 1 hour, and they'd be on the floor dead, and like, okay, I'll see you in 2 or 3 days. I got to recover. And I'm like, I got 5 more of these to go, and I'm 50 and you're 20. So there's definitely something wrong with the way we do things. So I've always been a little different, a little backwards. Just look at things a little bit differently. So we went down that path, and that was interesting. But for Adam, building strength and muscle is a byproduct of having a good overall fitness program. We don't do biceps today and shoulders tomorrow, or whatever I really couldn't even advise you. Don't get me wrong. Some of those guys, a lot of those guys, have really good bodies, really big muscles. But most athletes don't worry about that. Having a good body is a byproduct of doing the right things in general, like not just going to the gym and picking up heavy weights. So I can't be too specific because I've never done bodybuilding in my life. But in saying that, the way we trained made us strong as hell. Because if anybody knows anything about Olympic lifting, or how much weight people should and can do for their size and age, I was 160 pounds doing a 350 pound clean, a 500 pound squat, and a 350 pound bench. Like, I was a little guy, but I had power, and that's what we need for athletics. And because of that, I developed a relatively decent body type. But I've never worked with anybody in the hundreds of athletes that I've worked with, or thousands even, seen any athlete do a curl or, row, or like all these isolated exercises. Doesn't get done. Like, we do 3 exercises, clean, squat, bench, and we go home. There are a few other things, obviously, but that's about the size of it in the gym. That's the focus. So I'm sorry if I can't be more specific about that, Adam. But as we go into the other questions today, it might answer your question. So one of them was whey protein. And it's actually specifically with, I sent an article. Eula, thank you very much again for chiming in. How whey protein can help with lowering cholesterol. Well, I've never heard of anything like that before. I did some research today. I couldn't find anything that said that. Now, what I do know is that cholesterol, the bad one, LDL, is produced in the liver. It's not a food. It's not taken in through diet. So it's produced because of a bad diet, but not produced, like, you don't eat cholesterol and get high LDL. That's strictly produced in the liver. And as we've talked about, liver is the biggest detox organ in the body. And that's why I was telling you, I have broccoli sprouts, which I'm really pissed because I went to the store, I can't find them anymore. So you guys have been eating them up, or somebody's been taking them. But you want to keep your liver functioning properly. So the best ways to do that is stuff like broccoli sprouts, sulforaphane, cruciferous vegetables. Those are the things that help to detoxify your whole body, because all your blood goes through your liver. So all those detox programs, waste of time and money. You don't need them. And then stop with especially the fructose. High fructose corn syrup, processed foods have fructose in them, and some of the too much of the sweeter fruits. It's all fructose. It's all going to your liver. Your liver can only store so much glycogen, and then the rest is turned to fat, and fat around the organs, which is the dangerous one, and that's what's causing high cholesterol. So I hope that clears it up a little bit. And in saying, like I say, I never do any protein powders. I've learned, I have in the past, just like everybody else. I take essential amino acids. So I've got vitamin D, got magnesium, I've got essential amino acids. Those are my three go-tos every day. So the difference between essential amino acids and there's 8 of them, or 9, depending on who you listen to, but generally there's 8 essential amino acids, meaning your body can't produce it. With those 8, you can make everything. So that's all you really need. If you take, and with the essential amino acids, if you get the right ones, they're absorbed 99%. So basically, you take 5 grams, you get 5 grams. It goes into your body, it's absorbed. If you have whey powder or soy powder or casein or whatever, all the different protein powders out there, you're getting 16% absorption, utilization. So the other, do the math here, 84% is either converted to sugar and stored, raising your insulin, and it has to be processed out, or to nitrogen, and it has to be processed out through the liver and the kidneys, which puts more stress on your body. So I just don't bother. Even like the best protein you can have, I mean absorption-wise, is eggs. Eggs is 48 or 49%, and that's with the yolk. It's not the same if you have egg whites. So again, all these things, you egg white omelets and all, it's absolute trash. Okay, you're doing nothing, because you need the substances in the yolk to help the egg whites actually be absorbed. So you need the whole egg, and it doesn't raise cholesterol. You want them soft boiled, not hard boiled. Meats are about 30 something percent, 34%, something like that. Meat, fish, chicken, and like I said, all other protein powders you're in the 16% range. So why bother? You just put an extra stress on your body, and the rest is, depending on your metabolic status, raising your insulin, depending on how metabolically flexible you are. So I would just cut out the middleman and cut out the crap and just go straight to the Rolls Royce of nutrition. What else? The other one was Aliska. Yep, gut health. As we mentioned numerous times, the most important thing, sleep and gut health are the most important things for your overall health and performance and muscle building and everything else you want. If you're not sleeping, you're depriving yourself, and if your gut's messed up, you're not absorbing anything, and you're disrupting your immune system, and you're going to have problems when COVID hits even harder than it's already hitting. So you want to make sure you have a good gut microbiome, which is the catchwords of the day. You can see it everywhere on social media. All the doctors are even catching up, as Aliska alluded to. We knew for years or not decades. They're just catching up now, jumping on the bandwagon, going, oh yeah, it's true. So the studies are there, the surveys are there, everything is there to prove that you have to improve gut health. And other than sleeping, which affects your gut health, so that's number one. And the other thing is the fasting. We've talked about this too. The best way to improve gut health is not put the crap in there, okay? Get the crap out. And the best way to do that is don't eat. So it's pretty simple. Save you money too. So fasting is known to improve your good bacteria. You got your good gut buddies and your bad gut buddies. You want to increase the good and lower the bad. You don't want to get rid of them all. There has to be a balance in there. But you need to have, you need to clean stuff out before you put stuff in. So if it's not working properly, you can get all the fancy supplements and eat the best organic foods. Not going to help, because you got a lot of work to do to clear that up for. And as I've said from, I think, day one, 88% of you are immune compromised. You're metabolically inflexible, which means your gut, your intestines, your organs not working properly. Got to fix them first. So stop eating. It's not that hard. and we'll see you tomorrow.